Viewer discretion is advised.
But will be completely ignored.
Take my latest run-in with Batsy. It was just last night, as the entire country was tuning into its favorite talk show.
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Happy Halloween there, kiddos. Welcome to the Asylum. With me, Eric the Joka. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, and be notified. Also, don't forget to download the Internet Independent Wrestling Network mobile app to stay up to date and tuned with the latest Pod Mob episodes. For without them, the Asylum is not possible. Don't forget to check them out on all social media and get you some merch, or I might give you a shocking incentive to do so. Now, before we continue, today's electric chair, I want to let you all know a certain Rose is gonna wilt. I just hope Poison Ivy doesn't find out. That bitch crazy. But let's get started, shall we? Welcome to the Asylum. And the first story.
Here's the man who puts a smile on your face, whether you want it or not. The Joka!
Folks, I'm the Joker, living proof that you don't have to be crazy to host this show, but it helps.
Very much so. And the first story we need to talk about is the OC has a very serious Rhea problem. Last Monday on Raw, when Carl Anderson and Finn Balor of the Judgment Day were duking it out, this moment, as you can see on the screen, Rhea Ripley body slammed Doc Gallows on Raw. The 4-on-3 advantage allowed Rhea to then low blow Carl Anderson. Oh my God, there's shades of Sour Boy. If you know, you know, on Anderson's face. So the question remains, who will face off against Rhea on behalf of the OC? Now, people think that she is, quote unquote, the second coming of China, but we all know that to be different. That being said, we also heard AJ Styles say they needed someone with flair. So that begs the question, could this lead into the return of the multi-time women's world champion? The one and only Charlotte Flair remains to be seen. But I have an idea. If it is, in fact, Charlotte, what does this spell for Rhea? After all, the two of them have a bit of history. A couple of years ago at WrestleMania. And let's just put it this way. I have a hunch that if it isn't Charlotte, well, whoever it might be is going to leave a lasting impression. And I would pick someone, if it isn't Charlotte, because you want that very different match. Oh, shout out to my friend Jackie. Hey, honey, welcome to the Asylum, my dear. So I propose this. Will this lead to the return of the Queen to neutralize Rhea Ripley of the Judgment Day? Or does Triple H have somebody else in mind? To me, Charlotte would be logical because of her mixed tag team history with AJ Styles. And if you noticed, that low blow, Carl, wear a cup next time. Wear a cup, wear a cup. You'll thank me for that later. I mean, come on. You obviously could have known she was going to low blow you after all. Then again, maybe that punk kid earlier in the show who decided to run his mouth of being the modern day Eddie Guerrero. Well, I got something to say to you, kid.
What?
You're not even close. The comparison for Rhea to be a modern day China, just a smidge accurate, keyword, maybe that much. But I want to ask everybody one simple question. Who do you think it should be to take the 4th spot in the OC? Hey now. To neutralize Rhea. Another one could be Liv Morgan for all we know. I mean, after all, she was a tag team partner with Rhea at one point. Then they had an issue. So there's 2. I ask you, who would be good enough to neutralize the one and only Rhea Ripley? Now, personally, I like this idea. Even though Finn wanted to sit there and say that everybody's running on his coattails from the club. Give me a break. You were ousted after a year, Finn. And AJ took the reins and did a hell of a good job.
You kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I mean, after all, he did what you couldn't. He beat Okada and became IWGP champion. Something you couldn't pull off, kid. As far as Rhea is concerned, that is a moment that will be talked about for years to come. So, Rhea, golf clap. But the question still remains, who would seriously take her on? I propose that to all of you. Oh, and one other thing. Rhea, if it's Charlotte or Liv, you're screwed. Christy, hi, my dear. How are you today? Spread the word to everybody that the asylum is open. Oh, Christina Marie, the courageous one. Maybe. But she'd have to be there for a while first. Well, but I digress. Oh, and of course, you cannot forget one Eris Beautiful. Char made it to the asylum. Hello, my dear.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
Make sure you watch last night's episode of the CNC Connection with Christy, Charlene, and the lovely Queen Courtney. It was a good time. And especially near the end.
Yes, well, this is all tremendously boring. Of course, I can always amuse myself watching old Harv give my shark indigestion.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't do anything I wouldn't do, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I still want to know in the chat, who should it be to take the women's slot to neutralize Rhea Ripley of the Judgment Day? I want to hear from you. Could it be Liv Morgan? Could it be Charlotte Flair? Could it be one of the girls from NXT? A wild card, as they say? Tell me what you think. Yes, it was Liv Morgan, and here's why I say that, my dear. Think back a while, earlier this year or so, they had that tag team they were in. I mean, think about it. Liv still wants a little bit of revenge for the disillusion of that and then rejoining the Judgment Day because of it. I mean, did you forget that when it was Edge who started the Judgment Day, recruiting Damian Priest, and eventually Rhea Ripley, that it would be Liv, Finn, and AJ before Finn turned. So remember that. Who do you think should be the fourth? I think Liv would be the most logical. Charlotte got hinted at on Raw. Maybe this is the catalyst for her return. Remains to be seen. But one thing is sure. The OC definitely has a very serious Rhea problem. But I got to give Rhea this. It's not easy body slamming that big man. And we all know the late ninth wonder of the world, Chyna, is the only other woman who was able to pull that off. Then again, I could be wrong. I doubt it, though. Chyna was one of a kind. She is missed. But that moment will be talked about for many years to come. Could be one of Rhea's defining careers, in my opinion. So I leave that up to all of you in the chat, who you think it should be. Yes, she was indeed a badass woman. But now, what if Triple H breaks the forbidden door? Maybe a woman from another company that no one would suspect, that has a friendship with the phenomenal one. Who could it be? Don't know. But it would make for interesting television nonetheless. Now, onto a story that started last year, but we got some updates, and I think it's time we address it. Because it involves a certain young punky bitch girl who wants to steal the gimmick of one of my all-time favorite wrestlers in AEW, the heart of AEW. Some call him the Soul, the one and only Darby Allin, Cora Jade skateboard war. Let's have a little refresher memory. It was an ongoing tweet back and forth by a fan stating that, whoa, these two could duke it out in a skateboard war. However, Cora Jade accused Darby of, well, let's just say inappropriate behavior with a woman. And well, that doesn't sit well with yours truly. You see, Cora, we know that you accused Darby Allin of sexual misconduct and physical abuse on behalf of your friend and fellow indie talent, Holly Cromwell. And here's the thing that pisses me off. No evidence to back that shit up. None. Nil. No photos. No police report. No nothing, you bitch. Well, oh, damn. Rhea kiss your ass? Oh, my. Oh, I have much more to say about this in a minute. Don't you worry. You see, as we all also are aware, that Darby Allin was married to Gigi Dolan, better known as Priscilla Kelly for all of us that know Gigi from her years in the Independents. So shout out to Gigi. Hi. But while they did in fact divorce, it has come to my attention recently that they are on decent terms, and rumor has it she's moved back in with Darby. Keyword rumor and innuendo. We don't always deal in that, but in this case, we have to make an exception because let's face it, Cora Jade, you accuse somebody of something with no proof, no evidence. You basically tried to make yourself relevant, honey. And there is one tweet where after this you respond with the little laugh faces and the faces with the laugh with the money coming out your mouth. Cora Jade, honey, let me explain something to you. What you're doing is hooking up with Braun Breaker because you can't get a fucking better gimmick, first and foremost, bitch. 2, and here's the part where I'm about to hurt you. Darby Allin made it clear. Skating is his life, not a gimmick. I do too. If you've been following Darby's career, then absolutely, oh God. Let's just say this, Cora. You probably spread your legs for Braun Breaker faster than you did Blake Christian. We all know. Use a dumb hoe. Let me explain something to you, honey. I'm amazed Darby hasn't called you out for copyright infringement. Okay? Let alone slander. Let alone, I don't know. Bullshit. Because let's face it, darling. You got to come up with some new character or some kind of gimmick. And I see the other day you dressed up like AJ Lee. Girl, bye. You are never going to live up to that, girls.
You've had it easy, sunshine.
Yeah. AJ Lee is 1,000 times better wrestler than you ever will be, sweetheart. And I am amazed that somebody hasn't called you on your bullshit over the last year. Do you realize what you did? You and your bitch boyfriend? Or, sorry, straight that. Your bitch friend there? You basically accused somebody. Sorry for a minute, folks. I need to use my real voice for this because, so. Let me explain something to you, Cora. That whole, and we're not going to say what movement it is, but everybody here knows what I'm talking about. You nearly could have cost Darby his job. You realize that? You proud of yourself, sweetheart? You're nothing but an immature little adult who just became legal. It would have been one thing if you had evidence to prove it. No police report, no photos, just you doing this while you were going around Blake Christian's back and doing this to Braun Breaker. And that's it.
What the?
Honey, you need to get a rack. You got barely an ass. You ain't all that hot in a bag of chips, honey. AJ is 10 times more talented. Gigi's way more beautiful and actually can wrestle. All you do half the time is job and get your ass beat. You're an enhancement talent. Not sorry, I think.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, whack. Oh, God.
You could have ruined his reputation. Thank you, Shar. My thoughts exactly. You could have ruined his reputation, his life. You nearly cost him his job. Okay? Let me explain something to you that you need to be aware of. I've had friends that's happened to. I don't mean to get personal here, but Cora, you tried to pull an Amber turd. How dare you? How dare you do that? Are you this petty and childish that you got to do that to make yourself relevant just to get noticed? Bitch, please. Let me explain something to you. You were probably sleeping around on the indies while you were at it, spreading your legs, going, oh, book me, swallowing half the bookers and half the male roster. Oops, I said it. I don't give a fuck. All right. And let me tell you something else, sweetness. You want to know what pisses me off the most? You could have destroyed his marriage. KB, what's up, brother? How are you, my friend? Welcome to the Asylum. Happy Halloween, everybody. But no seriousness. Cora, you could have cost somebody more than his fucking job. That don't sit well with me. You could have cost him his marriage. Now, yes, Darby's going and doing other things and making the fans miss him. Right way to do it. I like that. But Cora, what the fuck you done to contribute to the goddamn business? You haven't had one banger yet that I'm aware of. Darby's had several. Shit. Darby Allin, third episode of Dynamite, challenged Jericho. Great match. Had a match with He Who Will Not Be Named, and we know this. He had a great match with him. Even though you may not want to hear it, guess what? Darby and him had a hell of a goddamn match. Can't deny that. Darby's a phenomenal talent. But, Cora, you's a hoe. You's a dumb hoe. And I want to say this to the chat. Feel free to unleash hell on her. Because guess what? I'm going to tell y'all something. That pisses me off. How dare you? And you want to know what's even funnier, Cora? Darby's actually held gold. What title have you held? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You pulled the fucking Medusa with the women's tag team belts. And then the shit you pulled. And then you had the match last week at Halloween Havoc. And you got your ass beat. Like the jobber that you are. Let me say that one more time. Jobber. Jobber. Actually, no. That would be her husband. Or his wife, actually. Sorry. Oh, damn, KB. Yeah, that's true. And here's the thing, Cora. Who'd you sleep with and who'd you suck off to get to the WWE? That's a real question I want to know. Okay? Who'd you blow? Who'd you swallow to get to WWE? Yes, I agree. Roxanne Perez is going to do a lot better than you, Cora. You're going to be stuck in NXT, or better yet, as the saying goes, step up or pack your bags. Best of luck in your future endeavors, Cora. Go back to the indies where you will get booked after you suck off the promoter. Oops, I went there. I did. Don't care.
You kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I have to keep doing something like that. I mean, that Jane, oh, it just makes me so mad.
I mean, let's face it. And I'm sorry I'm not in Joker voice, but this shit pissed me off. Okay, because this is a little close to home. Cora Jade, you are nothing but a $5, no. $2.50, no. 50 cents. All I need is a quarter. All I need is a dial tone, first class, skanky ass, trash ass, gimmick stealing, no good bitch ass, blow job giving hoe. And $5 says you were one of the hoes that was blowing Vince. With that being said, Core Jade, rotate. Oh, damn, KB. Oh, damn. Damn. With that, ladies and gentlemen.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
KB, that you saying that? Damn. For the first time in in a long time. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, when we get back from commercial, welcome to Wrestling's What If Chamber. Stick around.
This just in. Former copyright director G. Carl Francis will be taking an extended vacation. Looks like he's having more fun already. And now, Batman, because I know you're watching, here's a message from our sponsor.
They're finny and funny and oh so delicious.
aka Farouk, and you're listening to Off the Top Rope Podcast. And if you're not, damn.
What's up to the cast members of OTTR, also known as Off the Top Rope Podcast. I just want to say hi to all you guys. Thank you guys for being big fans of me. I'm definitely going to check out your podcast because if you're big fans of me, I'm checking out you and I'm supporting you if you're supporting me. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to be listening now. Also, if you show this to other people, everyone else go listen to this. I'm sure it's dope. I'm about to check it out. So, thank you guys for the cameo.
Take my latest run-in with Batsy. It was just last night, as the entire country was tuning into its favorite talk show.
whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Why is bacon called bacon and cookies called cookies if you cook bacon and bake cookies?
Ryan, please not now. I'm trying to sleep!
Do clothes in China just say, made down the road?
Doc, I don't know. The government says we can't leave our house anymore because all the questions he asks is a threat to society. I mean, look at Jimmy. He's out for the count.
If your shirt isn't tucked into your pants, is your pants tucked into your shirt? If you're invisible and you close your eyes, can you see through your eyelids? Dude, a fire truck is actually a water truck.
We're back.
And welcome back to the Asylum, kiddos. Keep me informed if I smell the flying rodent and his pet bird. With that said, now we enter another chamber in the Asylum. Wrestling's What Ifs. And this is one that hits me very close. What if the Texas Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin never ate the pile driver from Owen Hart in 97? We all know what happened during the course of the Kiss My Ass match for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Now, we all know that a pile driver is executed and you drop to your knees. However, before the match took place, Austin and Owen talked some things over, and Owen said, I'm going to drop to my ass. And Austin said he trusted him. Well, that backfired. Throughout the match, it was relatively back and forth, which is pretty solid. But then something happened. And Owen dropped to his ass. And Austin laid non-moving after having to do what Austin has called the shittiest roll-up in history to get the victory. He still had trouble standing. It took 3 referees and every amount of strength he had to hoist that Intercontinental title after the match. We all know the story of what happened. But what if that never happened? And yes, rest in peace to the Blackheart, Owen Hart, Mr. Blue Blazer. If you know, you know. Now, here's how I would have booked it had Austin never lost. And I'm going to give a lot of different scenarios from that moment going on. Now, I would have still booked it up to WrestleMania 14, where Austin won the gold. Wouldn't have changed a thing. We would have gone into the Vince McMahon storyline, all those things. But because Austin never broke his neck, what would happen after the fall of WCW? And would Austin have never walked out in 2002? First things first. Oh, hell yeah. I would have loved to book it this way. Owen and Austin would have feuded for at least 4 or 5 months, with him losing at probably Survivor Series. 97, if you don't know that one, you got issues. But Austin would lose at Survivor Series to set him up to win at the Rumble 98 and go into battling for the WWF Championship. I wouldn't change a thing. But what would have happened after all that? He still would have had the wave of momentum. He never would have needed the surgery in 99. I mean, hell, here's how I would have done it. I still have the infamous night in the garden where Vince tries to convince Steve to give Owen another shot, or we do kind of an injury angle where Austin supposedly broke his neck, but he really didn't. We just do an injury angle for a number of weeks to introduce who would become the Mr. McMahon character on TV. I still would have booked that. Still would have done it. But here's how I would have gone after the fall of WCW with Austin. After that, we would have had a scenario where Austin would have had to retire in 2003. So let's fast forward to that a little bit. Austin would have rode all the momentum he had. Would we still have put over Triple H and everything? Probably. Would we have had the Rock's rise? Yes. Would we have actually had those three classics at WrestleMania 15, 17, 19? That's an understatement. You bet your ass we would have. I would not have changed any of that. However, there is something I would have changed. Something after 2001. What do I mean by that? Well, everybody knows how the man who would become the Rattlesnake was fired in WCW. And the man who showed up July of 2002, when in reality we know Austin had walked out a month before. But what if because of Austin never breaking his neck, he never walked out? Would we have gotten the Lesnar match? Probably. Here's how I would have booked Austin without the broken neck. First, we keep the stories that we know and love intact, but we take a little bit of a more slower burn. Not like slow, but we do it enough so that when nobody sees it coming, like that, just like the stutter. Now, another thing I would do would be the night that Austin came back and whipped Eric Bischoff's ass. Now, here's where this gets good, because now Towley's in the house. What's up, buddy? How are you, my friend? Welcome to the Asylum.
Can't miss comedy, folks.
So now, here's how we do it. First, after he whips Bischoff's ass, just like we saw and Rock and Austin confronted after No Way Out in 01, to set up for Mania 17, there's a confrontation, and Rock goes, I've done everything but whoop your ass at WrestleMania. But here's a little plot twist. Out walks Bischoff, because by this point we're in 03, the whole NWO thing was, and the reality is, no offense, Hogan, you dug somewhat of a grave, and you and Austin weren't going to happen unless the old man came up with a hell of a good idea. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have seen it. Been a lot of this. But we all know, Hogan, you'd have got your ass whipped. And it wouldn't have been on the middle of the card either. It would have been the co-main event. Not where Austin was actually put, was Scott Hall. Rest in peace to the bad guy. Hey, yo. Now, back to where we're talking about on how we book Austin to his eventual retirement. So after we get the match for Mania 19, the following night on Raw, as Austin's talking about, oh, he got this and that, and we do have Rock still win. Out walks Bischoff and says, Hey, Austin, I got a little bit of unfinished business with you. As a matter of fact, you're next. And we book going to WrestleMania 20. We started the following night on Raw. We have to set that story pace. And we get the match that we have waited and wished and only played in WWE video games. Who was the badass of the Attitude Era? In one corner, you had all the fans of WCW behind the legendary Goldberg. In the other corner, you had the wrestling fans of the Texas Rattlesnake. What if that would have happened instead of Goldberg and Lesnar at 20? I think that match would have been phenomenal. Yeah, Oldberg, he's got a wheel down to the, and then he goes, "York." Wait a minute. Your neck. So we would have booked into 04. Now, who could he have worked with? Could he worked with Randy Orton? I would have loved to have seen the Rattlesnake versus the Viper. Could he have had that one-on-one that he could have had with Dave Bautista? Personally, there's one in particular that I wouldn't mind to see. Mr. and Austin, we never got that. That would have been great with the amount of momentum both Cena and Batista were having in 05 and 06. And here's another one. These two men locked up plenty of times in the past, but never one time at WrestleMania. Austin and The Undertaker.
God damn it, I like the way you do business.
Austin and Taker never locked up at WrestleMania. And I think it would have been an intriguing match. Do the math, folks. Absolutely, Blackheart. That would have been gold. And that would have done a buy rate that fans would be going, holy fuck. Absolutely. So ask yourself, let me ask the chat this. If Stone Cold never broke his neck, what matches later in the Attitude Era and post in the early to mid 2000s would you have loved to have seen? Pitch some of the names. And I still would have had Steve in the Hall of Fame in 09 in Dallas. But his retirement match, it would only be fitting, since we had three of them, that either he faced The Rock, or if he still turned heel at Mania 17, the disastrous one I might add, we got Austin and Vince. Interesting. Very interesting. I almost forgot about that. Good eye, Blackheart. Now, WrestleMania 17, we all know that Austin turned heel. Absolutely. But what if that night, after he won the WWF Championship in the Astrodome, he shook Vince's hand and went, "Fooled ya, stunner." Fans would have been over the moon. We never have the heel turn, and Austin continues his huge wave of momentum. And then he could pick Brock. He could pick Randy or Cena or Batista. Whatever big names in the early to mid 2000s, minus CM Jackoff. to carry on the torch. Personally, Brock would have been an excellent choice. We wouldn't have had the disastrous creative going into the King of the Ring in 02. If it was me personally booking Austin for that, I'll give you the short and the sweet of it. Austin's in one block, Brock's in the other. The two of them converge at the pay-per-view. You get a big-ass buy rate. Austin was always about business. Having Austin go over on Brock, having Austin job to Brock on a Monday Night Raw unadvertised was bullshit. Bullshit. Broken neck or not, bullshit. Grade A. So to me, I think, absolute. I think, oh my God, yeah. I didn't even watch it. I was just like, the minute I had found out on Raw that Austin walked out, I was like, nope, I ain't watching this one. Deuce. Because I was hoping for that. I didn't like the fact that he walked out, but I could, after reading his biography, I understood why he did it. But with his health, without that pile driver, yes or no? Do you think he would have had the wave of heat? Oh my. Oh. You mean?
I think I'll start using my toxin on cattle. Joker burgers! Talk about a happy meal.
Exactly. So ask yourself, who would you have wanted to see Austin face? The possibilities are endless. I leave it to you. Because let's face it, I think Austin's wave of momentum after WrestleMania 13 with Brett and passing out to the sharpshooter, that double turn still happens. Had Owen not broken Steve's neck, Austin still stays champ, lose at Survivor Series, build your way to WrestleMania 14. Period. Period. Oh, Blackheart. Oh, yeah. You mean, wait a minute, wait. Are you saying that would have been his retirement match? Passing the torch to Cena at Mania 25. I mean, I remember them, Austin handing a beer to Cena at the Hall of Fame, but do you think that would... Oh. What's the time limit? I give it 25, 35 minutes tops because look who you're talking about. Austin Cena. That would have been money. Cena was hitting his stride, absolutely. I have to get... Okay, a little bit less, okay. I still factor in the entrances, all that, but bar none, that would be box office. And you advertise it in a way that makes you wonder, well, wait a minute, he's going into the Hall of Fame. Is he really going to be, is this really his swan song? And then when Cena beats him, Cena's celebrating, Austin stops him, shakes his hand, and they toast a beer together. And that's a way of passing the torch. We're still going to see Cena get hit with the stunner. No doubt about that. I wish he actually got it anytime Austin appeared and Cena was in the ring. Austin certainly teased it. Folks, I say this. If Austin never had that pile driver, his career would have been hotter than we know it to be. So I leave this to you. Who else would you have liked to have seen face the rattlesnake? Even names that may not have been in the company. Maybe Bryan Danielson. Get that rivalry back up and going. Oh, hell yes. Anybody else besides me? Could book that all day. Now, that being said, that is Wrestling What Ifs for this week. Now, it's time. Wait. Ooh, that's the one match I would love to get so bad. King of the Mountain versus the Rattlesnake. Hell yeah. All night. But what's the finish? I mean, you would have to that could go 5 or 6 months with Jeff, the two of them alone, and the two of them, TNA Jarrett versus Austin. That would be promo platinum, the two of them, just on the mic. Forget the ring. That could work. That could definitely work. I could definitely see that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I definitely see that. So that being said, what if Stone Cold never take that pile driver, folks? And now, I know Poison Ivy's going to hate my guts for this, but I don't give a rat's ass because this bitch got it coming. Before I say anything, I do want to say my thoughts and prayers are with this young woman. She lost her brother last weekend. My sincerest sympathies to you on a personal level. But as far as you in the career, Mandy Rose, I'm frying your ass. It's time to fry Mandy Rose in the electric chair. So, how do... So, Mandy. Mandy, I already gave you my sympathies, but now, bitch, you fitting to get it. Since you returned to NXT and formed Toxic Attraction with JCJ and Gigi Godalin, you've controlled all the women's gold. We're now a full year since you became champion. Bobby, if you're here, I'm sorry, but the bitch got it coming. So first and foremost, how is it that a former contestant on Tough Enough who didn't make the cut goes on to have a lackluster spot on the main roster for God knows how many fucking long years, only to come back with your fake tits, your fake ass, your fake smile, your fake lips? They all look like you had plastic surgery. The only thing probably real about you is your waist, if that, and your hair, if that. Keyword lucky. Word if. Furthermore, in my humble opinion, honey, your wrestling has gotten ugh. Your promo work sounds like nails on a chalkboard. Every time I hear you speak, makes me want to go. Ugh. Makes me want to get a hearing aid. You sound like you're a fucking crow on crack. Okay. Furthermore, you have no talent, no gift. The only thing you got going for you is that fake cushy ass of yours that probably looks like somebody injected too much Botox. Oh wait, that's just your lips. Furthermore, who'd you have to sleep with or whose ass did you have to kiss to get on the roster? I mean, for Christ's sake, did you screw around with Triple H on the side? Did you screw Vince? Oh wait, rhetorical question, don't answer that. You probably did. Yeah, I said it, bitch. And let me tell you something else, Mandy. No offense, honey. 12 months as NXT Women's Champion. There have been so many decent contenders to whoop your ass. Personally, to me, I think Nikita Lyons needs to be the one to whoop you and get that belt, whether she's ready or not, because I am sick every time I tune in hearing your ass. Hell, go back to being a model or what. And Mandy, I'm not being mean. This is what it is. No, Christy, she's more like a blow-up doll. Get it right. She looks like one of those blow-up dolls that had extra plastic surgery. And, well, I ain't going to say the other thing because Well, no, fuck it, I'll say it. She looks like she had a little dribbling off.
Shut your bitch ass up. Get up.
Bro really pulled the blicky on her ass.
I mean, folks, ladies and gentlemen, Mandy Rose, no offense, you just fake as shit. You didn't even win tough enough. And to the young woman who did, I'm going to break my voice for this. That's all I need to say about that. Mandy Rose, you had this fire desire shtick on the main roster with Sonya Deville. And Sonya, you're floundering. You suck. I said it. Mandy, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot horse's dong, and that's from the heart. I don't want to know where your nasty, crusty, plastic ass has been. And the fact that you engaged, dude, I hope you got a stash of condoms, some penicillin, and every STD kit known to man. You're gonna need it.
Meanwhile, back at the wrench, since my side splitters don't tickle you, how about a skull splitter?
So, Mandy, your rose is gonna wilter in my chair.
You know, kids, we've got an item here no home should be without. The laughter-activated electric chair. Yes, sir, the merest titter or guffaw starts the chair's generator revving up towards maximum zappage. Harley?
Ha, ha, ha.
And guess what, Mandy? Let me tell you something else. You wasn't just doing this to Vince. You probably did it to half the male roster. You're, Mandy, you're almost as skanky and hoary as Cora Jade. And Cora, they don't got no talent. What's up, Warren? Dude. No offense, but she sounds like shit on the mic. I'll give her this. She's gotten that much better in the ring. And that's me being generous.
Man, shut your bitch ass up. Get up.
Bro really pulled the blicky on her ass.
Okay? I wouldn't be surprised if you... Wait a minute. You would probably... If he was still single and he wasn't married and you was on the main roster with him, you'd probably do what Nikki Bella did and sleep with John Cena. Oops. Because guess what? Just like Nikki Bella, the only door you knock down is whoever the popular male talent is and sleep with his ass so he'll talk to the old man. Wait a minute. Maybe that's something you and Cora Jade have in common. Just saying. So, okay. No, Roman wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot dick. Who you shitting? So here's what I'm going to say. I'm not saying she hasn't. I'll give Mandy this, Warren. Plain and simple, she's been a faithful girlfriend, fiance, now whatever. Not
Indubitably.
But the fact of the matter is, in the ring, ladies and gentlemen, check out my buddies at the Wrestling Commission Talks every Wednesday, 5 o'clock on this show. Okay? What's up, Wheels? How you been, man? But let me tell y'all something before we get out of here tonight. Mandy Rose, honey, you've had that title way too long. Nikita Lyons could whoop your ass. Miss Perez could whoop your ass. What's that? Somebody tell me what that girl's name is and Chase You. She could probably whoop your ass. Amber Fire, should have been the one to whoop your ass last week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show where we crank up the chair to maximum and don't let Poison Ivy know that bitch crazy. Fry her ass.
But check this out. I got to pick my girl up at 12, so if you really don't mind, why don't we just go ahead and do this, all right?
So like I said, Mandy, whether you've been faithful or not, in my opinion, you've been doing way too much of this just to keep that belt for the last 12 months. And I'd laugh if you did it to Shawn Michaels. So with that being said, it's time to say adieu. Before I get out of here, y'all know that without the Pod Mob, the OTTR family, the Asylum doesn't exist. So don't you forget to like, share, subscribe, keep yourselves notified. Also, download the Independent Wrestling Network mobile app so that you can stay tuned to all the content we provide and all the content from others everywhere. Now, next week on Analyze This, I've chosen a match that we still talked about to this day at WrestleMania 30. That's right. The moment that we all never thought would happen. And I'm also going to dig deep behind the scenes about it too. That match where Undertaker became 21-1.
Oh, God, there is no fucking drummer better than Neil Peart!
It ain't easy being cheesy.
So with that said, the night that Brock Lesnar snapped the streak, WrestleMania 30 in the Pontiac Gotcha in the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. So with that said, who knows who's going to taste my electric chair next week? You'll just have to wait and see. But I promise, tune in every Sunday at 5. It's always an electrifying good time. And don't forget to shout out and show the love to my friends at OTTR. Because let's face it, without them, there's no me. And without you, there's no us. Now, y'all smell that? I smell a flying rodent and a pet bird. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta scoot before those two try to throw me back in Arkham and take me from my home. So, till next Sunday, Mr. J says so long. Happy Halloween. And remember, if you don't watch it, you might taste my electric chair. Till next Sunday, kiddos. Thank you for tuning in to the Asylum. And remember, this is the Wrestling Asylum. I am Eric the Joka. Don't piss me off, or you're gonna be electrified. And I'm gonna enjoy it. Mandy Rose, you plague Barbie hoe. And as for Cora Jade, use a bitch, use a dumb hoe, get a better gimmick, and quit sucking Braun Breaker's dick just to get ahead. You ain't gonna win the title, sweetheart. Get used to it. Till next Sunday, enjoy your Halloween. Be safe, everybody.